to check that because I don't want to be too quick to congratulate them until we have the facts. Senator Sifuna.
Chair, this is the first instance. You know, we had an entity here which was budgeting 100 million for pending bills that were over 2 billion that would take them years and years to clear. This is the first time I'm hearing such an accusation from the Auditor General and happening in Kwale, so that we don't have to come here to clear the air. I don't know if it is the Auditor General prefers to do these meetings in Nairobi. It appears to be easier to gain clarity when we are in the Senate.
Auditor, unless the county does not cooperate at the time of audit.
Yeah, Chair, we are flexible. If you want us to conduct the meeting in Kwale, we are always more than ready.
I can assure you, Kwale is more beautiful. We don't have beaches here in Nairobi. We can get you some nice places to where there's upepo wa bahari.
That might compromise our judgment, so we are better off here in Nairobi.
Chair, maybe I can weigh in on the debate. You know, Chair, most counties have been grappling with this issue of pending bills. And you've seen that it's happening in Kwale. And Chair, I must implore with you, I must really plead with you that you must congratulate the county of Kwale because of the way and the steps they've taken in making sure pending bills are really reduced. This is the only county that everyone in this country, Chair, wants to be a supplier and a contractor because payments are in good time. And you can see the auditor has confirmed that indeed that pending bill is not that much. And I'm sure government is taking steps towards making sure the same is addressed. So Chair, really, you should really congratulate the county. Other counties have appeared before me and we hear very colossal figures, 2 billion, 3 billion in form of pending bills, Chair.
Chair, let me protect you.
Whose instructions are you working on today?
I am under no instructions, Chair. I'm just solely relying on the audit reports as it is and the explanation by the able gentleman, our Chief Officer, Mr. Undoka.
Okay.
Chair, Senator Chimera should choose whether he's with the committee as a friend or as a friend of Governor. Maybe Governor, before congratulations come and flowers, what is the pending bill as of today? What is the pending bill as of today through the chair?
200 million.
Yeah. 200 million. Then there can be no congratulation until you achieve zero. We'll give you flowers and chocolates and congratulations.
Tell us about Nandi payment bills.
No, Nandi is not under review. We'll land on Nandi at that point, so relax.
Fine. So Auditor General, I think we keep this in view. And during the implementation cycle, you give us an update to confirm whether what the governor has reported is true. If it is true, then if you give us that confirmation, we shall not hesitate to use Kwale as a model for the other counties. Because honestly speaking, there was a county here that had 4 billion in terms of pending bills. We have seen counties whose pending bills are 50% of their total revenues. And I think it is unsustainable and unacceptable. So, unfortunately, Senator Sifuna, this is not one of your ODM counties. So, for you to say that your counties are doing well, even though I think there's the people on the ground are generally your people. It's just the leaders who might not subscribe.
Absolutely, Chair. Absolutely.
Yeah. Fine. So I think we keep that in view, but encourage, please do not let this run away as it has done in other counties. Let's go to unresolved prior year audit matters. There were 14 issues that came out of our conversation the last time you were before the Senate. Again, we made recommendations. Those recommendations ought to have been implemented. Governor, can you confirm that the 14 issues listed here, you have responded to them, to each of the issue in your written responses?
Yes, Chair.
If that is the case, because if you are to discuss them again, it will be like going back to the meeting we had last year. But there are 2 projects that we had flagged where we want to get an update: construction of wholesale market at Kombani and incomplete construction of governor's residence. So on construction of wholesale market at Kombani, is this the one that had a court matter?
Yes.
Could you tell us how far you have gone with this?
The matter has been before court for, however, the county received a ruling on 21st January 2026, allowing access, occupation and operation of the market. We've attached the court ruling.
No, Governor, I'm trying to follow where your annexures are.
You can see the documents are paginated. Maybe you can refer the page.
Yeah, because the placeholders are not labeled. Yeah, Kumbani.
Volume 2.
Which volume? Yeah, these are the things we say should not be happening in the Senate, going through records after the audit has been done.
It's Annex 327.
3? Annex 4C starts from 376. So, which page? Okay. So, just take us through that, Governor. What is this letter about?
The county attorney is here. He will respond.
County attorney? Last time.
Chair, the Kumbani market matter has been in court since 2021. There were some injunction orders against the county government. Chair, I want to confirm that the matter has so far progressed to hearing. The contractor, who's the plaintiff in the matter, cleared their testimonies. It went to the defendant's side. I wish to confirm that of our 5 witnesses, 3 have so far testified. The matter came up for hearing last week, and it previously had a hearing date for today for it to be finalized. But on Thursday, when the matter was coming up for hearing, all this testified, then we were given a further date to...
What is the purpose of this document you have exhibited? What is the import of this ruling?
I was coming to it, Honorable
That's what
Chair.
we start
Thank you.
with, because we are all looking at it and wondering how that story you're telling us is relevant.
I'm rightfully guided. In the pendency of the suit, Chair, we filed an application for us to be allowed access to the market, because there were injunction orders against the county government and there were some cases of vandalism. So we made an application to court, and on the 21st of January, the court ruled on that application, and they allowed the county government access to the market for purposes of securing the market. And there are some 2 sheds which were outside the scope of the Kumbani market project that we were also given access and the right to use.
So as the matters go through that labyrinth of court applications, only 2 market sheds have been put to use.
Yes, Chair.
But were
in
those
terms of
part of
access-
the total amount that the Auditor General queried?
The 2 sheds were out of the scope of the Kombani Market project, but the orders gave us access to the market for purposes of securing the market. But in the construction of
the market itself,
yes,
whatever was paid for,
yes,
is still not put to use by the traders of Kwale.
yes,
Because those 2 sheds are outside.
but they are within the
No.
within the market.
They are, but they are not part of.
They are out of the scope of the Kombani Market project.
Yes.
Chair.
So Kombani Market, whatever was defined as Kombani Market, is still not value for money, because the traders of Kwale still cannot use it because lawyers are still arguing in court.
That is the position, Chair.
Okay, so since it's a matter that is live in court, I think we discussed this at great length last time you were here, even in the preceding year that you were here. I think it's a great disappointment that citizens can see a market with their eyes. They can see their money in that market, but they can't be allowed to do any business in it.
So just for clarity, has fencing begun?
Not yet, Chair. We received the orders on 21st of January this year.
So we keep this in view because it's a recurring matter. I think we'll look at the details of the written responses and if need be, make further recommendations. But I believe last time we made certain recommendations which we will track to see whether they've been implemented.
Maybe out of these, as the county attorney, some of these issues emanate from lack of ownership documents. Remember last time we were discussing about land issues. Have you been able, for example, in number 7 on the ownership documents of ECD centers in Kwale? And Chair, let me disclose the distinguished advocate was my classmate. And he's doing a good job.
Thank you.
Why are you looking at you like that?
I hope this one is real because you used to claim that the lady from EACC was your classmate.
She can confirm that Patricia, myself, and I were in class together.
It is true, Chair.
He and she and Patricia.
Okay,
the same
fine.
place.
Let that not be a sign of favor on
That's
the part
to
of the
disclose.
members of the committee. Yeah, so Senator Cherargei, you have taken us back to issue number 7.
I just comment on lack of ownership of construction of ECD centers. Have they been now secured? Because we know that region normally has a problems with issues of land.
So very, very quickly, that was a prior year audit matter that ECD centers do not have ownership documents.
Yeah, Chair, maybe before that is answered, the attorney has said they have not fenced off the property. I just want to understand, now that we have orders to have access to the markets, has the county, perhaps, I want to believe that would be done or is being done. Just clarify whether you've taken steps towards making sure there is enough security on the property so that this vandalizing stops.
Thank you, Chair. We've made considerable steps. We've had several meetings at the market with the traders, with the community, and I want to confirm that we have made arrangements with the Kenya Police Service at Kombani AP Post. We have our county enforcement officers also on the market. So currently the market in terms of security, it is secure.
Could you, just for memory, how much was the contract for Kombani? How much money is just sitting there, idle, as lawyers slug it out?
$118 million, Chair.
118 million. Okay. Lack of ownership documents for construction of ECD. I think it's easier for you to read your written response because I can see you have addressed it there.
Chair, the county government has engaged a consultant to undertake the subdivision and transfer process of land to the county government of Kwale. Attached are copies of the tender notice and notification of award for consultancy services for preparation of public land registration. The attachment is at Annex 4B.
Okay. Governor, incomplete construction of governor's residence. Again, we spent quite a lot of time on this at our last meeting. Please respond. Give us a status update.
Thank you, Chair. The matter is still under active arbitration. The status is that, unfortunately, after the demise of the advocates for the contractor, they haven't appointed alternative counsel, so the matter of arbitrator. However, on the part of the county government, Chair, I wish to confirm that the county government has set aside a budget for the completion in the event that the matter is concluded in good time.
So this 50 million budgeted would be on top of how much that has already been spent?
160 million, Chair.
So these residents would be 210 million when you exclude the legal costs, because those legal fees are related to the project. 210 million.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, sorry, we were with the committee then led by Senator Governor Chila Yeko. I don't know whether Dulo you were with us in April 2022 when we visited Kwale. Although the residence looks palatial and is very elaborate, for us who have built 210 million, that's a lot of money on a residence. Yeah, I think 210 is a lot for that residence, because I visited there. We access, I agree, at that time it was in desolate, so I don't know, maybe the AG will tell us whether the contractor is on site. But 210 million is too much.
I know at our last meeting we discussed it extensively with a lot of dramatic effect, and I think it even caught the attention of the public. The question would be, when counties have started projects that have gone above the threshold that the Senate had approved. We were here with Bungoma County. They were able to demonstrate that their governor's residence, they've capped it at 40 million. And the deputy governor's residence has been capped at 35 million, in line with the Senate recommendation. So I think we must agree as senators on what to do with these counties that started earlier, before we had put in those ceilings, and the costs keep escalating. Because if Bungoma had that Kwale is doing a residence at 210 million, I'm sure the governor will want to make adjustments so that they can be like you. So I think, members, we must take a very clear position to the House on how to deal with these counties that started earlier, but then they've been caught up in tussles, and then the costs keep rising. But I think the last meeting, it must have been Senator Sifuna who was quite alarmed at the expenditure, and I believe we were asking all sorts of questions on the kind of residence that we are putting up. It is a problem. This committee needs to address it and come up with a proposal for Senate to adopt. We said you needed to perhaps achieve this in a phased manner. Have you considered that approach instead of trying to complete everything at once, Governor?
Yes, that's what we are doing.
So this 50
But we are
million,
waiting for the arbitration first.
this 50 million, can deliver a building in another county. So if you budgeted 50 million, what is it meant to achieve?
Through Chair, this is per engineer's estimation.
Yeah, so what do
This
they
is
want
to completion, I guess.
Completion of the entire project or completion of a phase? Because we had advised you last time to phase the program, the project.
It's a phase.
Which phase is that? That is 50 million.
Maybe
Because
Chief
Bungoma
Partner.
is putting up a governor's residence at 40 million.
BQ.
It does, but if it's a phase, if you agreed you are going, it's quite interesting that you've allocated an amount equivalent to what other counties are using to put up a complete residence, just for a phase.
Thank you, Chair. As we face up the project, there are aspects of the project that you have to do 100% complete, like drainage. Because when you do drainage and looking at the landscape the way it is, it must be complete even for the other buildings. If you are doing access, it must be access from the road to the residence alone. So that is why that it's not just the house itself, but we have to complete in aspects of drainage and part of landscaping for that building.
But Chair, interestingly, you are talking about landscaping before the main substructure. I thought those are things you do after. And I thought the residence is not far from the main road.
No, now, from the structures that were done, there is no drainage, so the solid waste disposal is not done. So we have to do that drainage for the liquid and solid waste. Then we have to do drainage for runoffs, for the building, as we complete the main building.
Chair, just a quick observation. I think, Chair, you have made, we need to take back to the floor because we had capped the construction of governor's residence to be 40 million. I think for the speakers, 35 million and 35 million for the DGs. So I think now the question is, we need to convince the Senate why Kwale is doing a governor's residence at 210 against our capping of 40 million. Although I remember your neighbor spent over 110 million plus in buying one in one of your neighborhoods. Finally, Chair, in this one of arbitration, just an observation. Governor, I can see you said one advocate died, but I can see is this Njuka Consolidated Company Limited. There are almost more than 5 advocates. So why don't you, because if it is intended, my worry is that that building will get wasted away, the fact that nothing does, and you and me know that. So why when one advocate dies, everything stops? Is this the same people from Njuka Consolidated Company Limited?
Honorable Chair, Njuka was being represented by the firm of Dr. Mutubwa. The firm was on record for Njuka, and unfortunately he passed on. And since the demise of the advocate, they have never replaced their representation.
So through the Chair, sorry for taking law, so long as Njuka does not appoint any advocate, this thing will stay in abeyance for the longest time.
We've written to the arbitrator.
Okay, so since it's a matter that is live in court, we will review the responses that you have put there. But the key thing is, let's not have monuments in Kwale that have been put up but are not being used. We have seen that the other project, the market, is now looking like a monument because it is nicely done but not utilized. The governor's residence is also becoming a monument or perhaps a white elephant. So members will need to craft recommendations and take to the House.
Sorry, Chair, let me just correct for the record. I remember in April 2020, the Finance and Budget Committee, I think the governors were supposed to do a maximum of 45 million. County deputy governors was 35 million, and county assembly speakers was 35 million for the constructions of their residence. Sorry for saying 45.
And we have proven that some counties have stuck to those limits.
Correct.
And I think Bungoma was sitting where the governor was. They confirmed to us that their budget was 40-point-something million. Let's proceed with the other issues in the report. There was a non-compliance with the FIF Act. Auditor General, you indicate that in as much as they've tried to account, there's still 4.9 million outstanding.
Yes, Chair. As at the close of the financial year, they have now demonstrated that they paid or they reimbursed 31,446,211. But the amount in question was 36,114,800.